The Girl Who Raised a Wolf. A heartwarming story inspired by true events. Once upon a time, high in the snow-covered mountains, stood a small wooden cabin, nestled quietly between tall pine trees. Inside that cabin lived a little girl named Vicky. She was only 8 years old, but her eyes were filled with sadness. Not long ago, Vicky had lost her mother, and ever since, she hadn't said a single word. Her world had fallen silent. Her father tried everything to cheer her up, and one winter morning, he took her for a walk in the forest, hoping the fresh air might bring back her smile. Vicky walked beside him quietly, her gaze fixed on the snowy path below. She didn't speak. She didn't look up. But then, something caught her ear. A soft, muffled sound, like a whimper. It came from a small cabin hidden between the trees. Vicky stopped. She tilted her head. She listened. Someone or something was crying inside. Her father followed her as she walked toward the cabin. An old man opened the door, and inside, curled up in a basket of straw, was a tiny puppy. He looked fragile, shivering and alone. But the moment Vicky saw him, her eyes sparkled for the first time in weeks. She knelt beside the basket, gently lifted the puppy in her arms, and turned to her father. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "Can we take him home?" Her father smiled, and he said yes. Vicky named him Mister. From that day on, they were inseparable. They played together, ate together, slept beside each other. And something magical happened. Vicky began to laugh again. A bright, joyful laugh that filled the cabin with life. But as time went on, she noticed something unusual. Mister didn't bark. He howled. His eyes glowed in the dark. And sometimes he would stare out the window toward the forest. Still, Vicky loved him more than anything. One day, they took him to the vet. The doctor looked at Mister carefully, then checked the x-rays. He sighed and said softly, "This isn't a dog, it's a wolf cub." Her father froze. But Vicky hugged Mister tightly, refusing to let go. Soon after, officials came to take Mister back to the wild. They said it was the law. There were no choices left. Vicky wept. She hugged him one last time. She whispered to him all the words she hadn't spoken in weeks. And then he was gone. The next morning, Vicky ran into the snowy woods, alone, her heart pounding with hope. And there he was, Mister, standing still, watching her. She walked toward him slowly, her voice cracked as she called, "Mister." He turned, took one last look, and disappeared into the trees. Since that day, every evening, Vicky stands at the edge of the forest with a small piece of bread in her hands. She looks into the distance and whispers, "If you still remember me, I'm here." And sometimes, just sometimes, from deep within the trees, a soft, familiar howl returns to her, as if his heart is still calling back.